I always thought living alone was a privilege. No one to bother you, no space to share, and most importantly, absolute silence when night falls. My apartment is on the 12th floor of an old building. It's high enough to be detached from the noisy streets, and secluded enough to make me feel safe. But that was what I thought until last week. It all started about 2 weeks ago. Lately, I had been waking up completely exhausted. It wasn't the usual fatigue from a lack of sleep. It was a heavy ache in my muscles, a mental fog, and my throat felt raw and scratchy as if I had been talking continuously for hours. Thinking I might have sleep apnea or that I was sleepwalking, I decided to download a sleep tracking app. The app was simple. It activated the microphone and recorded audio only when it detected unusual noises in the room. On the morning of the first day, I checked my phone. The app had captured 3 audio clips. I played them. It was just the sound of me tossing and turning, the rustling of the sheets, and a soft cough. Everything was completely normal. I chuckled at my own paranoia. But on the morning of the 3rd day, everything changed. The app reported a 6-minute recording, saved at 3:14 a.m. I brewed a cup of coffee, sat on the sofa, and pressed play. At first, there was silence. After about 10 seconds, I heard my own breathing, rhythmic and steady. I was in a deep sleep. But then, from the background of the recording, another sound began to emerge. It started very faint, like the sound of wet fabric being dragged across the wooden floor. The sound slowly moved from the bedroom door, creeping toward my bed. My heart started to race. I live alone, and my doors are always double-locked. There couldn't be any person or animal in the apartment. The dragging stopped. What followed was a heavy silence that lasted for almost a minute. I held my breath, pressing my ear close to the phone speaker. And then a sound played that made my blood run cold. It was breathing, but not my steady breathing on the bed. It was a heavy, wet, and freezing rasp. That breath sounded incredibly loud and clear. It wasn't coming from the floor. It was coming from right next to my phone, which meant whatever it was leaning directly over my nightstand, its face less than 8 inches away from my sleeping face. In a panic, I searched the entire apartment, tore through the closet, looked under the bed. Nothing. I tried to convince myself it was just an audio glitch, or the wind howling through the window crack. That night, I decided to leave the app on, but I placed a small knife under my pillow. I stayed awake until 2 a.m. before finally passing out from sheer exhaustion. And this morning, when I woke up, the phone showed a new recording. This time it was 12 minutes long. Recorded at 4 a.m. My hands shook as I hit play. The recording started immediately with that horrific, wet breathing. This time it wasn't just standing there. It was doing something. It was whispering. I turned the volume up to the maximum, closing my eyes to focus on what it was saying. It wasn't a strange, unknown language. It was speaking English, but the cadence was bizarre. It was disjointed, broken, as if a machine was trying to mimic a human vocal cord. Good morning, Benji. It whispered. I shuddered. That was the exact phrase I had said to the building's security guard yesterday morning. Black, coffee, no, gar. I covered my mouth to stifle a sob. That was my order at the cafe yesterday afternoon. It was mimicking me. This thing had been with me, watching me, and now, in the dark while I was unconscious, it was standing by my bed, practicing my words. It was trying to copy my voice. For the first 10 minutes of the recording, it continuously repeated my daily phrases. At first, its voice was gravelly and high-pitched. But as the recording went on, the voice became smoother, more fluent. It adjusted its pitch, its intonation. By the 11th minute, the voice coming from the phone froze the blood in my veins. It was no longer a raspy whisper. It was my voice. Exactly 100% my voice. If I didn't know I was asleep, I would have sworn it was me speaking. Wearing the disguise of my voice, the entity whispered a new sentence. Not a mimicry. It spoke clearly, slowly. It sounds perfect. Place. Him. The recording ended with a soft click. The phone slipped from my hand and fell onto the mattress. I sat there, staring blankly into space. Tomorrow, the day it was talking about, is today. And right now, as I sit on my bed, paralyzed by fear, I suddenly notice something I hadn't seen before. The closet door in the corner of the room is slightly ajar, and from within that dark crack, I can hear breathing, very faint, intentionally adjusting its rhythm to match exactly with my own.